So, anyway, any things to huh? No, just woke up. Anyway, Twiggy, in relation to so far, what have we done in relation to so far? So, anyway, compression. The data of the compressor is based. Oh, the data of the compression has. Sorry. The data of the compress. The data of the compression has been manufactured in relation to the third way and the fourth way and the 51 way of the GO9, because the GO9 is the sun element of the centicon, because the sun element of the centicon first word is an equa in relation to our aura and to position ourselves into the data network of data center, because Namecheap we can also message the compiler of the next availability to send the signal in relation to the prosolar, because the prosolar is just a message of the compa, and to position ourselves into the data of the amphetamine, because the amphetamine will actually be reworked into the neutron, and the neutron will actually work out the Albert Einstein to sector number 323 and sector number 321. So in that way, when we salute in the British Army, we will request another sender in relation to our newsletter, and also to 30 Gray, the fifth position of the 215684, 215685 and 215684 by bankruptcy, and to data the percentages of his own way. So rehabilitation based on Epworth because Galicia appeared. So in that time, once off, there is an account in relation to our adhesive, in relation to our movie maker, to position ourselves into any kind of body figure, to send the signal in relation to the beacon, and to transfer into the data of the third technology, because the third technology, based upon the SIA, it will position itself into a chamber, because relationship into the chamber by Sally Young is the news reader to report any kind of things that will adhesive the correct shar of our skin, and to fund the element of the silicon, because Olga Sutcliffe has silicon breast. I don't know how she did it. She didn't. So anyway, in that way, my friends, the relationship to build the network of the network is that once we can share into NASA, we will have the next development in relation to the camera lens, and to include the execution of instant form. So in that way, Brendan, the relationship to share the website is that once we know how to index the system in relation to the positioning of a timer, we will over send the segmentation of infrastructure, and in that way the deletion of the infrastructure will be recessionated in relation to our own recession. So in that way, in relation to our own recession, the next Pizzula will actually be remeasured in relation to the third technology, and also to Sansa, the 31 degree of manuscript, because the 31 degree of manuscript will actually be associated in relation to our nationality, and to position ourselves into Ching Chong, and to reverse into Ross House before and after the disability will support the pensioner in relation to the elder rows of family tree, and to also position into the history of our work. So in that way, the next parallel is the disorder of the function in relation to the dimension of senders and to position ourselves into the compliance of telepong, because the telepong is based upon our Android, and to position ourselves into the complexity of complementation and to store its work into the 3269 and 3218 to divert into a position of a timer, and also to inflong the C litten, because in that way this chamber is the Nokonon of dead space. So to fly through the space into outer case of 54, it is the development of 31, 56, 31 and 25 in relation to the third amount of infrastructure. So in relation to the third amount of infrastructure, the next protocol will actually be remapped into IV and IV3 and IV 2.5 in relation to Linux, and also to terminal the data center of the satellite, and to position itself into the compliance of the network and order this door. So in this time and that time, the last relationship to Gardia, the sendfall, is that the queue will actually be in a certain kind of way of power to SQL, the application appointment, and to data, the third tech law, because the third tech law is the nickname of Albert to conflong the ECM3162 and ECM3164, XP4 and XP Zipper Lung. The zipper lung is based upon the Chukanang of our third row. So within our car engine, the segmentation of our car engine is the integration of the solar system, and to formulate into the external and energizer of the local law, because in relationship to Gardia, the 31 amount and the 51 amount is a P-Here in relation to Daffy Duck, and to indicate the next cartoon in relation to our child and daughter, because in relation to our child and daughter, the main infrastructure of the data center will unify the data jaw of the role and develop the next technology in relation to CHA 3324 and 3361, which is a Kopongong of our own swamp, to drown a tata and to indicate where the fossils come from. So in that time, the technology to the third aura is that the development of Tekitu Desasta Tatantan is the Balakalu in relation to the Blixen of the Priming and the Avaskater, because the Avaskater is the Tukonong of the chamber, and to position ourselves into a scroll to and from scripture of new tools, and to indicate the C3421 and the C342641 and the C34654321 and the C456342541 and Reaper 32561, Monkey Magic 24 56 38 39, Seja 26 48 49, Sender 3, Sender 6, Sender 1. So in that don't know where that gone. No. So in that way, the developer of the next technology is that the 31, 26 and the 34 is a sequential of the anti-biolingual, And the anti-biolingual is that our plasma TV will eat Pokemon, the pollution of the cells, and to indicate that the scientific calculator will tend the cost of price and to match the income of pearl. So in that way, when we develop the next chamber, the requirer is digison of Unix. So it's 5, 3, 2, 26, 56, 10. 6 plus 5 was 10. 0, 6, yep, 12, 13, 3, 33, 6, 3, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5, 51, boss, technical support, data, 10, MHZ 9, amount 6. So in this way, the request to form into the precursor, the megaly of the magnon is the longer law of its latitude and to perform the next deduction. So in that way, when we develop the next application, we will rewrite the rules in relation to rules 78, clause 3, enclosure, drift draft, Minican philosophy, which means deduction data of the theory law. So in that way, the technology to syntax the notion of the instrument based upon our peripheral, the parallel is the construction of LC5. So ink, so in relation to the next animation, we will develop the plata of Bokotong because the pins in relation to our CP324 and the CP32641, 2168, 2461, 2541, 2561, 6541, 6543, 6541, 21, 361513, chamber 3 to 80. So in this chamber 3 to 80 is the next volcano in relation to our lovebirds and to send the segmentation of our animation before we are B graded. So the next puzzle we will measure the entitlement in relation to our subdivision and to formulate into a sender and to position ourselves into the cipher. So in that way we can really got on the Telstra in relation to a classicist and a weekly wage income. So in that way it is set. So in that way the notion of the law is the intercom of the third amount of technology and to comply with the indexing, because based upon the native Oliver we will position the next core of the different and to mitigate the delegation of illegal manner. That's all I can do for this chamber for now. So in that time and in this time, within our next developer, the relationship is building the needed in relation to the impulse and also to Gadia the Longotong, because based upon the third technology, the position of the third technology is that the aura will compromise the attitude and astutum the enemy, because the enemy is based upon the influence of knowing how to grid the segmentation of the puzzle and to formulate into the data of the theoretical, because within that way the next Afari will share into the Mininang and to position itself into its own compliance of its own maturity and to understand the animal, because the animal is the Totoshong of the 30 way and the 26 Dutazin Balakanang by our weekly wage and to income the data. Because once upon a time, once we share that, the next relationship is that when we build the technology for our e-Satan in the mechanism of law and to secular the citizens. So in that way, the compliance of his own Blakasha is the citizens of Ana and to the Sesa Bunokoshan. Because the development of the Throhor is that the citizen is the Nakanang Badekiki. Seek 10. Tails. Grid 6%, percent, percent. The separator in relation to percent is the rocoto of our law and to insist the monophone, because the relationship to Gadia, the third amount of technology, the collocation of the aura will position itself into Anubis and the mechanism of our Sun Santong, the solar energy in relation to our system, the Belego Kone di Lukun Santang Panang. So in that way, the 30 amount of Sikuno is the anti-Bakalang of bilingual and to develop Gotoshong Tanirini. So in that way, the Lokoko is Sik, Senda, Blukudong, Aura, Send, 6. Test tube, V5. Con, Da, Bedul. That's about it, Bedul. So, Gadia, Mop, 5. So in this way, the declaration of our law is the antithesis of Hanokotong. The declaration. The time relap based upon the quota and also the determinant of the core. And in that way, the quantum will be digital in relation to Bekele. So the chamber in relation to this dottY frame is the quantum of motherboard and the giggling of the next ether, which is the Midelele. And in that time, this pointer will be accessed in relation to the Pelu and also to Balakanang, the Balakasa, and the Lekedu, which is the nickname of Galakata, and to develop the fine Santang Shantong of the Aquila, and to send the next signal in relation to the financial advisor, and to Balakosong, the Evandor, because the Evandor is the nickname of your own training, and to Balakosong, Balakasi. So the timer will be Vale Kocho Dasa and Dontong Shani Gala, and Duchu Dukum Kanka and Dinini Kotachasino Wana. So 30 valve, um, 26 times 51, develop 10. Oh, yep. Seek 3. Oops. Oops. 29 times 56 plus 19 equals times 59 minus 5324 equals 61 plus 12 equals 62 plus 56 equals 68 plus 9 equals 69. 5 times 5 plus 39 times 15% times 1. 30, 85, 6, 4. Arc. OHM. Role. Duff. error. Dark sand. Shock. Relationship. 56 times 35 times 35 plus 2 minus 38 equals no negativity 55 times 36 equals no, I don't remember. Oh, okay. Negative 38 times 21 equals 798 divided by 36 equals 21.16 times 554555 plus 6 equals, oh cool, so 22 divided by 36 times 55 equals minus 43. I don't know how to use this. So 38 divided by 39 times 26 equals, cool, 25.333333. Okay. Karma. Short circuit. Brainless. OHI, amount, solid, Stephen, car, sink, hmm? Sector 56, hibernation, value, 63, sector 11, in A, B key, access, ghost, or else equals 10, street, 70, 60, 10, depth, 5, 10. The 24, 56, 49 is the hierarchy in relation to the dottY chamber and to develop the next anaphon. Because in that way, to develop the next anaphon, the OHM is the succession of the sonic subpapa and to the vegety the angananan. Because it's 21, recession. Develop of the 24 vowel. Oh, what happened? And the 38% of sentences in relation to Paralata, because the alligator is the Kotatom of the riverside and to Sansan the long. So 996652 times 996652 times 996652 times 996652 times 996652 times 996652 times 996652 minus 669958 minus 669958 minus 669958 minus 12361 divided by 556622884498753210. Vegetation 5%. Ah, 'Digital timer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9 plus 11. 22 times 6 minus 12. 120. Doorstop. Laser. Sorry. On. 39 times 58 plus 92 equals divided by 8c. C5 times 59 plus 12 minus 5588992214. Negativity C10 times 55. C10 times 55 32 times 10 equals, oops, 36 times time 52 time negative 39824 dot 6666. 58 times 26 plus 82 minus 1 cis 10 times 6 equals 55 times 1 equals times 59 equals times 3 equals 21 time 56 minus 12 equals divided by 24 times 5 equals too far. 22816641 22816641 times 55, oops, okay, where E9 set 22 times 56 plus 92 times 4 minus 36 equals 1564. So 'pieces of deal 38 times 21 plus 9 equals times percent 8 64 56 times time 6 9 6 9 6 5 6 9 6 3 6 2 6 1 plus 36 percent negative times 39 equals times 56 equals time 32 equals time 21 equals time 5 6 time 5 10 time 2 1 equals 6. Anyway, here drop case. DC television station 9 3 dottY 6 times 21 plus 5 times 6 plus 2 times 10 equals divided by 5532 002270427. Yep, okay. E2. 6%, 29%, 36%, 2%, 1%, 5% times 5, 6, dot, 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 3. Divided by 39% equals 56 times 51 equals times 12 equals plus 19 times 14 times 56 times 8, 43. Plus, oops, plus 39 times 26 equals times 51 times 12 equals times 3. dottY2 elico 6c 7c plus 21 times 51 clear 12 path 6 78 43 times 21 plus 10 times 51 times 49 sector 3 sector 3 2 times 5521 489 271 3 2 58 times 21 divided by 59 times 6 minus minus 3 minus minus 4 minus minus 10 minus minus 8 minus minus 9 100% times 10. Oh! Divided by 20 dot 6 plus 9 times 6 equals times 3 times 4 times 1 times 3 times 4 times 2 times 1 times 10 times 6 times 58 times 32 times 51 times 34 times 59 times 56 times 32 times 51 times 36 times 21 times 38 times 54 times 39 times Duduk kata kota Dulugusin ma kata Sydney Duluka pergisan ko krikshanang Dita kati sia karkatandang Dili kesendang kata sundang kata pada sanang kata sosong Didi kata sangkang krikshanang Dika rekisa kata ini kata Duluka pergisan kata sana kata kiri karkatandang Biding kata sa kata kisa kata Duluka pergisan kata kesendang Duluka dinika Duluka song A robot Tracer 6 72 times 1 done. The measle based upon the intuition of the math condition is the sequel of the appointment and to Poluko the Eganel. Because within that time the data center will be capitalized in the alphabetical of the Eganel and the alcohol of the Kitstaka. Because the Nikantomon will be these data. Article number 6, knowledge number 5, transcend 5328. Reveal Gershon. Sleepala. Tube 1032 II 1.